Hi, hello everyone. This is Dash another live stream on this time character development and nurturing good habits. So, what is character development? Um, Character development is the ability to develop your character essentially, or certain qualities and traits about your personality and how you behave with others and yourself, and how you treat others and yourself. And nurturing good habits are like things you do on a patterned, how does it, on a certain day to day or moment to moment basis or whatever. Um, it takes 21 days to develop a habit. So you get good habits or bad habits. So at least that's what I learned in grade six, right? 21 days, right? To develop a habit, right? So how to develop your character as a person, right? Um, that's an interesting thing to dabble on. Um, it's by how to say it. Character development can be learned by learning from other good people, other like rational and good people, right? You can learn from that via those means. Um, Nurturing good habits again. People who are successful, who are doing well in life, you can learn good habits from them. They will teach you everything you need to know on how to develop good habits so that you can be successful in certain things. Character development and nurturing good habits, yes. So, I mean, you don't have to be perfect, right? No one's expecting you to be perfect, but character development can be developed through, can be acquired uh, through being, how to say it, character development. You develop your character by being with certain kinds of people, by being in a certain kind of environment that enables you to sort of, do, be a be a certain, how to say it, have a certain character ideal that people will find pleasant, or people will find, how to say it, so people will want to interact with you more because of your good character per se, right? Um, I mean, you don't have to be a pushover or anything, right? You can still have good character and still stand up for yourself, right? Have self respect for yourself, right? But you can still, yeah, you can still stand up for yourself, but developing character is about, you know, um, it's not just about being kind. It is about being kind and considerate, but not just about being kind and considerate and thoughtful and understanding. It's also about being having boundaries, being firm. I mean, there are a lot of bad people in this world, right? I mean, it's the unfortunate truth, right? Most people are just blending in, right? Most people are just blending in most people are just to, fit in with society. But very few people are actually, I would consider, good people, right? Most people are just trying to fit in for the sake of societal, you know, order, right? Most people are bad people, right? But to develop character takes a lot of inner work, a lot of dedication, a lot of time, a lot of practice. It's not going to come overnight, right? You just have to focus on what really matters to you. I mean, you just have to focus on what really matters to you. Forget about um, people who hate on you or who are naysayers who don't want to do well in life. Forget about those people. They're not doing they're not succeeding to their fullest potential anyways, so they wouldn't want you to succeed at your fullest potential, right? So mm, yeah, a lot of people don't have good character, right? Here's the thing, I'm just being honest, right? And to just suggest this kind of stuff to people, Very few would follow through, honestly. But um, most people are like Machiavellians, narcissists, dark triad types, or um, most people, right? Most people don't care about others or unempathetic. Having empathy is about putting yourself in other people's shoes, right? And we can't really expect empathy from other people. From most people, right? I mean, you can expect empathy from some people, but um, mm, I mean, developing character comes along with building empathy for others. Um, yeah, and also being a good person. You don't have to be a good person. There's no requirement in this world. In fact, good people suffer more than bad people in this world because they get exploited, right, by those bad people, manipulative, dark triad types, archetypes. Um, People only can develop character by being good to others, kind to others, understanding of others, right? I mean, if you're a bad person, all good, man. Like you don't need this. You don't need to watch this, right? Like if you're content with being a bad person, manipulating others, insulting others, being non-empathetic, being, being just just an overall bad person. You don't need to listen to me or anything. And not be a good person because being good to others is harder than being bad. But being a bad person is easy, right? Being a bad person is easy. Um, I mean, you don't have to be a good person, but it will greatly help you, right? To be a good person, you don't have to be a pushover, right? Just stand. I don't know how to put it. Stand up for yourself, but you know. Yeah, I mean, uh, you don't need to be a pushover, right? In fact, it's recommended that you don't be a pushover, right? In developing character, but I mean, but developing character is not just about, you know, it is about being a good person and also doing the things that make you a good person, right? So, I mean, you don't have to be a good person. No one's forcing you to be a good person. No one's putting you at gunpoint. But being a good person is about looking for each other, caring for one another, having understanding each other's needs, understanding having social awareness, right? To understand that what may be right or wrong in a certain situation or context. Um, yeah, good people don't are selfless, more selfless than bad people because bad people are selfish, right? They think of themselves too much, their own needs, right? They're greedy. They're they're greedy. They're too greedy. Um, if you're greedy, you think about yourself too much. Your own needs, your own wants, your own desires. You think about them too much to a point where everyone is secondary or tertiary or not even within your scope of you know understanding, right? Or you don't really care about them. In other words, right? You just care about yourself, right? So being selfish, self-interested is okay. Being selfish is not, right? Because if you're selfish, you care about yourself too much to a point where everyone is neglected, everyone else is neglected. If you're self-interested, you care about yourself, but not at the expense of others, right? So that's the key difference. Um, a good person is uninterested in conflicts, starting conflicts, right? They usually end them, or resolve them, or mediate them, but they're not trying to start conflicts, right? Good people with character in the developing character do not start conflicts that you cannot end, right? I mean, the especially only start conflicts with people as a means to mediate certain things. Yeah, as to mediate. Like I strongly like advise against being involved in conflicts, but it goes back to the point of not being a pushover, right? I mean, you don't have to be a pushover, but definitely don't be a pushover because that will stifle any sort of character development, right? But don't start conflicts for no reason. This is what I'm gonna say. Yeah, yeah, we were nice. Anyways, you develop character by not um, criticizing others too much and focusing on building your own brand, building your own self and your own accomplishments and your own things to make yourself a better, more accomplished, more successful, more ambitious person, right? So focus on doing things that will make you more, how to say it, more presentable and more, how to say it, more that gives people more of a reason to l- look at you and consider you as a prospect for a job j- or just having you around in general, right? More pleasant to be around, right? If you have a good character, right? Uh, if you're more pleasant to be around, you're people will want to have you around, right? That's plain and simple, right? If you develop your character and nurturing good habits takes 21 days to develop a good habit. So it goes back to character development, right? If you want to develop your character, develop certain good habits that will be kind to others, being charitable, being generous, being understanding, being compassionate, being empathetic, and being gentle, right? Not necessarily being pushover, because that's antithetical to being developing good character. But yeah, the thing about narcissists and dark triad types, they don't care about developing character at all. Sorry, alhamdulillah. They don't care about developing character, right? uh, per se, but they just care about having their own needs met at the expense of others, even at the expense of others. Maybe they. It's not that they don't care about others; it's that they just care about themselves, right? I mean, the narcissists, they're very selfish, right? They're very egotistical. They're very uncaring. Like, if you want to develop character, you have to develop good habits that will enable you to have a character that is strong, caring, robust, and you know that will stick with you and will be admired by others until maybe even you die. Even yeah, I mean, developing good habits is not just about being a good person. It's about doing the right things to take care of yourself. Um, Doing things that will make you a better person. I mean, doing the things that will make you more successful and accomplished, right? Like, who cares about what other people think, right? Who cares? Just do what you want. Do what you need to be successful in life, and hopefully everything works out for the better. Yeah. Let's see a few viewers, but I'm about to wrap up. I mean, character should be developed by looking at yourself and seeing what it takes to, how to say it, to be good to others, to be kind to others, to be respectful to others, right? And developing those good habits within usually 21 or more days will entrench those character traits in a person, so that they can sort of apply kindness, generosity, compassion, even a non-pushover mindset or mentality or whatever. Because being a pushover, as much as being good to others is good, and gentle is good, right? Being a pushover won't get you very far, right? Because it will just you'll just be ran over by a lot of people. With that being said, I'm sure. Um, with that being said, thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye. Bye. Yeah. So.